Hey all, it's John aka Whisky and Sound, and I'm back with another episode of Boilermaker Mondays. Now, the episode that I have on tonight is another whiskey and beer collaboration between distillery and brewery, and this one is pretty special. One that I was very fortunate to get my hands on, and it is Bakery Hill, the Blunderbuss, and the Kalash 2020 Whiskey Edition release, which there is a difference, and I didn't realise there was, because when I went out looking for this particular pairing, I went and bought the usual Kalash that they will come out with, which would have this little Russian fella on the can, and then when I was told that no, it's got to match the bottle, I was like, great, where do I find that can? Considering that it had sold out in the first 2 weeks of it being released. So it was very popular, and with great detective work from the boys at Bakery Hill, I was able to obtain a can of the Whiskey Edition. So big thanks to the boys at Bakery Hill, and I'm able to enjoy this particular Boilermaker pairing. Now, the cool thing about this is that I'm able to compare what the difference is between these two cans, as well as seeing how it pairs with their whiskey as well. So without any further ado, I'm going to start pouring glasses and getting them ready so I can enjoy, because I've been waiting for these for so bloody long now, so I'm absolutely hanging. And what I will do is I'll get into the Russian Imperial Stout first. Right, let's stick you in this one here. Ooh, that is lovely and rich in colour. Beautiful. This is going to be a big pairing, to say the least, because we're looking at 10.7%, and then we're looking at 13.4%, as well as 52%. So keep in mind, drink responsibly, and don't do what I'm doing now. This is all for the sake of a experiment. I'm going to boil this down to science. But it's also Monday night as well, so why not? And we've got many reasons to celebrate as of the numbers that keep dropping down for COVID-19 in Melbourne. So you're damn right I'm going to celebrate. And what a way to celebrate. So, right, as I'm pairing these, it's already a beautiful aroma that's coming through on the noses. All right, so first off, on the beers, it's lovely and chocolatey, pastry-ish. I pick up on almost like an anisette or something. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. I shouldn't say interesting actually, but it's painting the picture as to what I should be expecting. I'm expecting it to be big, thick, rich, and yeah, letting me know that it's an Imperial Stout. That's for sure. So you know, get really big hits of coffee on it too. So oh yeah. Yeah, that's nice. And exactly what I thought it was going to be too. So, alright. So, this is just normal Kalash, which I believe they do they do a release every year of the Kalash, which is their Russian Imperial Stout, which they do in ex-bourbon barrels, which I believe are done for... I think they're done for 4 months. I really should double check that one actually with Top Nation. But anyway, yeah, you can. All right, now that the head's gone on it, now a lot more of the notes are starting to come through. All right, so yeah, this is, yeah, it's got heaps of chocolate and coffee, and that malt flavour is definitely The malt flavor's there and well balanced as well. Like I don't think it's over, like it's not overkill or anything. But there is that bit of a like that bitterness that you get from the imperial stouts as well, which you either really love them or you can't get into them because you're not used to the bitterness from the imperial stout, which is almost like a spice kind of character to it as well. Something like maybe Anise or maybe I mean some of them you also pick up on like cinnamon or clove, whatever. But I'm expecting out of these, like I picked up on Anise before, or aniseed I should say. You get that waft of that bourbon barrel coming through as well, so which is quite lovely. All right, now the moment that I've been waiting for is to get into the Bakery Hill edition Kalash. So, and then I'll get stuck into the whiskey. So, actually, and I won't need to give all of that sound. I won't need to give that whiskey some airtime because this has had a little bit in the bottle as well. So, yeah, I will. Beautiful. Right, so on that note, it's the Kalash Bakery Hill edition. So we'll see what the difference is here. Oh, what a difference! There's already such a massive difference in this, like compared to the two. This actually has a hint of peat in it, which I believe with this particular beer, it was finished off in casks from Bakery Hill that had their single their peated single malt in there. So and then they've given the barrels back to Bakery Hill afterwards, and that's what they've seasoned the blunderbuss in. So they've done 6 years in their ex-bourbon barrel, and then the last year I think they've done it for, which the final year. So it's had 7 years maturation, and in that last year it's sat in these barrels. So yeah, so I'm expecting a little bit of a hint of peat as well on the blunderbuss, but that's there is such a difference. There is such a difference. Yeah, two complete different Boilermakers. Oh, two complete different stouts. And the scary part is that the actual ABV on it doesn't really doesn't show like that. Does not drink like it's 13.4%, which I find hilarious and scary at the same time. Because I know I mean, look, comparing it back with I know the Lark Wolf of the Willow release. That particular stout was like you could tell you were drinking something that was above, I think it was 12 or 13%. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you could tell that was a high ABV stout that was right in your face. So that one there though is that particular stout drinks very much like just a normal Kalash, which is at 10.7%, which I find very well integrated. So and very dangerous to drink. So I'm going to rinse down with some water first and reset the palates. Then that way I can go back pairing it now with the whiskey. So right, okay. Lots of cocoa on this one. Lots of cocoa on this beer. And if you nose in between the two, dark cocoa, almost licorice. And It's almost got like a buttery kind of smell to it as well. Yeah, funny that. But yeah, definitely that real slight hint of peat that's in there. That's just, yeah, it's enough. It's enough. You can definitely pick up on it. It's actually, funnily enough, that's actually quite, um, it's pulled back in together. Like this is big and bitter, but whereas this is, or almost feels like there's that level of control there, and I think I'm about to find out now once I have the whiskey. So yeah, I'm going to nose off this because it's been a while since I've had some of this. Actually, I have tried this Blunderbuss on its own in a tasting, so I know what to expect from this, but how it's going to pair back with this particular beer, now that's going to be the part that I'm going to be treating myself to tonight. So yeah, this is gorgeous fresh nose on it as well. It's citrusy. But it's also got that savory note as well to it. There's almost kind of a bit seafoodish, like yeah, yeah. I can pick up on something like say mussels, for example. Ever so faint, ever so faint. You could pick up on it, but it's chocolatey. It's got probably like a, I wouldn't say I know I like to use cinnamon sugar as a as a nosing note, but it's got like raw sugar on the nose. The citrus is kind of like more an orange peel kind of nose on it as well. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And it's got the one thing I found with the Bakery Hills that I have had in the past is that they've all got that signature, just that malt note going through it as well, which is just that lovely malty balance where some are just overpowered completely by whatever cask influence that they've had, and you tend to lose that. Like you just find a lot more of whatever else is happening, or it could be that the fruit the fruits on the nose just become overpowering and you'll lose that malt note. But this lets you know that you're drinking cereal in a glass. Uh, and yeah, there are those notes of spice that are coming through as well that I'll pick up on. It's an evolving whiskey, and that's one thing I love about this. So beautiful stuff. All right, anyway, so let's go. Now that I've gone this far into nosing it, let's do a whiskey wash and a beer rinse first, and we'll see what that does. That coats a palate so well. So well. Beautiful. And yeah, there's a hint of that smoky element that you get on that as well. Once again, the citrus is there. The malt flavors are there. You've got that crunchy cereal note that the only thing that's missing is the milk and the spoon in your hand. You're eating your cereal. That's beautiful. And that's also signature with Bakery Hill. There's a really gorgeous finish on it too that just keeps on going, keeps on evolving. I really like it. Really like it. Yeah. Okay. So I've got that on the palate now. Let's see what it does on a beer rinse. chocolate bomb. Chocolate bomb. Actually, cappuccino bomb too. That's what I'm getting. This thing turns into... Actually, I'm going to bring that back. This is a mochaccino Boilermaker. That's what this has just turned itself into. All those flavours integrated turns into a big cup of a mochaccino. Yeah, because there's just so much coffee and chocolate in that together. There's that real slight hint of smoke on the end of it as well, which is a pleasant little twist. And that malt integration just pulls it all back in together and just says, right, you're not going anywhere. That's the kind of marriage that I'm getting. This is a real fun and easy drinking Boilermaker, and that's just on the whiskey wash beer rinse. So I'm going to go beer rinse or beer wash now, and then hit it back with the whiskey rinse and see what that does. And then just for science and giggles, I'm going to try it with the old Kalash to see, or the non-Bakery Hill release Kalash, and see what that effect also has on that whiskey. Just for the sake of, it's in the glass, it's there, I'm going to try it and see what could come out of it, really. But anyway, so beer wash. Oh, that is such an easy beer to drink. Such an easy beer to drink. Yeah. This could go either way. Oh, man. That is so much fun. That is so much fun. I actually think I prefer this way. The whiskey rinse has so much more to offer afterwards because it's already an evolving palate. It's already an evolving finish. So when you've got that and when you've got that evolving on a coated palate with the Kalash, my goodness, what a beast of a Boilermaker. A pleasant beast. This is, yeah, such an absolute treat. I think that's probably the way that I would enjoy this Boilermaker most, which is beer wash, whiskey rinse. Either way is fine. I think going beer rinse is actually more like the dessert. But if you want big dinner style Boilermaker, then I'd be going the whiskey rinse at the end, and that is just so bloody enjoyable. So many flavors are coming through. My goodness, it's fruit, it's pastry, it's savory, it's slightly smoky, it's slightly peated. Dessert flavors coming through, like with the chocolate. That coffee note as well it's a really fun Boilermaker. I'm having so much fun with this that I almost don't want to spoil it with that other Kalash, to be honest. But science has got the better of me, and I am really curious. So guess what? I am going to try it. So let's see how that other one pairs. For those that couldn't get their hands on this particular can, but she's managed to score this one. Sorry, the other way around. Oh no, actually no, that is right. That is the Russian dude that's on there. So for those that managed to get their hands on this particular can, I'm going to now try that particular beer with that whiskey, just to see what you either would experience or what others would have experienced, and see which one was actually better, or see what works, because people's palates are completely different. So what I'm going to find works for me may not work for the other bloke, or another another bloke or another girl will pick up on this and think that, you know what, I actually think that this pairs better with the whiskey than what their whiskey release beer did. So that's why I'm looking to try that right now, just to put my own mind at ease. Right. So without any further ado, let's go whiskey wash first, and then I'll do the beer rinse. Alright, so just reiterating, so this is whiskey wash and beer rinse on the Kalash 2020 non-Bakery Hill release we're doing now. That's it. So whilst you're getting your finish now, all right, let's try this one. All right. Does that work as a Boilermaker pairing? Yes, it does. And it's only because that has a stout influence. Does it mean that it's better? No, I will have to say that their specific release works better for this application, but that's based on the beer rinse afterwards. There's so much more of a marriage gene. You pick up on that. I mean, that bitterness is lovely, and I do love, you know, my rich Russian Imperial Stouts. Anything with just those big, bold flavors, I'm all for it. But I'm loving the way that those two marry up 110%. But having said that, I'm going to go beer wash now, and I'll do a whiskey rinse and then see how that one pans out. So, right. That is tamed right down now, actually. Now that that's not as chilled as what I would usually have it, that particular beer is tamed right down. Yeah, alright, that's actually gone... That's gone a different way. Yeah, man, that's a difference and a half. That's actually, I won't say it's cancelled out a lot of flavours, but it hasn't enabled this to finish the way that it did with that particular beer. So, hands down, there is a difference. There's such a difference in these beers with this particular boiler making. So if you were one of the fortunate ones that were able to get your hands on one of these, then you're on a winner. So now another guys at Oz Whiskey Reviews, Luke McCarthy, they also done a review on this as well, and feel free to check that out as well on their website, because I know they're massive fans of Boilermakers too, from back in the Whiskey Nulman days. And I believe Luke, Jules, and Brooke done this exact pairing as well, and they had their own review on it too. So yeah, feel free to check that one out as well. That was a pretty cool read. And yeah, there was, if you were one of the lucky ones that got this, I'll take my hat off to you, because you were on a serious Boilermaker pairing right here. This is probably one of my favorite collab pairings, hands down, this year that I've tried. So and that's, you know what, actually I'm going to save it for my scoring. I'll save the review for my scoring, because I know now that we've tried a few. We've tried the Ironhouse, we've tried the Bloodknock, we've tried the Corowa. The Corowa pairing was definitely a collab. Did they use the same barrels? No. But they've used the particular whiskey to season the beer afterwards, or like they've used a particular whiskey barrels to season the beer with afterwards. Blade Knock was a different story because that one was more of a give me the whiskey and I'll make a beer, which I think will work well with this to bring out the flavours. And Ironhouse in Tassie was the one very much like this. You know, they've gone, right, we're going to make a whiskey, take the barrel, make a stout, give us, or actually, sorry, it was a porter, make the porter, season the cask with it, bring it back, and then we're going to do the whiskey with it. So, and that's essentially what's happened with this Bakery Hill pairing as well. And this is a very high scoring Boilermaker pairing for me. So, yeah, as a like, could you do this on a daily basis? You could, but responsibly, you shouldn't. But it is still one that you can enjoy at any time of the week, no doubt. I mean, I'm doing this on a Monday night, so why not? Right, well, look, I'm going to go off and enjoy the rest of this Boilermaker all to myself, because why bloody not? Hope to see you guys on the next episode, and that'll be the last of the collaboration pairings, and then we'll be moving on to something a bit more exciting, which I believe I mentioned about last week, which will involve some SNWS single cask releases, which I'll have the pleasure of trying to pair back with some beers as well that I find at my own discretion. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for continuing to follow, continuing to give your feedback. It's all appreciated and all noted. So for those that are just tuning in, like, share, subscribe, support, and let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what you want me to pair back. If there's something that you're interested in, which you've got a beer in mind and you're thinking to try a particular whiskey with it, but you're not too sure what way that you want to go about it, let me know in the comments. Or vice versa with the whiskey. If you've got a whiskey in mind and you're struggling to find something to pair it back with as far as beer is concerned, like whether you go whether it be a stout or whether it be a sour, whether it be an ale, whatever, then let me do the homework for you. And if it's fun enough for me, I'll make an episode of it. I'm all for the Boilermakers. So continue to stay on the line, and I'll catch you all next week for another episode, and we'll continue to have this fun together. Have a good one, guys.